2-hour commitment.
He served coffee.
Excuse me, coffee. I was too busy making 500 cups of coffee to know what was going on, literally 500 cups. The crowd was wowed, and then they didn't realize, sorry, Councillor Bonstill, that you were a councillor. And when I told them, the sweet little old ladies were like, oh my God, we had celebrities here. I mean, you two were the talk of the town. It was
We're
marvelous.
going back. That's a good way of getting us to go back next year.
Yes, I know. And so I'd like to thank you both for your time and effort. It was absolutely wonderful. Deputy Dare, okay. Thank you very much for your squares. I really appreciated that. And it was just a fun event, and the people were they just had a good time. It was nice. I had a great time.
It was great being there and made it fun. It was a great event, fun thing to be doing as mayor.
It was, I think it was a good way to meet people.
Yeah.
It was good.
Councilor Blair.
Under emergent issues, I'd like to bring forward to council a motion to permit the Grand Island Chamber of Commerce to erect signs on municipal property for their November Christmas that comes early in November. I received a letter from Mike Burgess. He'd like to put up some signs at Gill Road and Highway 81 facing east, Highway 21 near Pineville Road facing south, and Highway 21 opposite the Grand Cove entrance facing north. He's asked us that we approve this erection sign on municipal property.
Subject to MTO and staff. Okay.
Point of order, remember we were talking about emergency situations. Now this was my question when I was asking legal advice exactly when, I don't want to rain any rain, I see what you mean, but this is really an emergent, it cannot wait until another meeting.
Well, we get on the agenda for the next meeting, it's not until November 7th, so we won't have to go another week. Signed up, so when we're going forward, this will be like a
And I think what we need is a 2/3 majority to agree to allow this as an emergency issue. So if we have that majority,
I'll second it.
sounds like everybody's in favor of it. So the motion then would be to work with staff and allow the signage for the Christmas in Grand Island. Second by Councillor Scott. Question?
Just a quick one, on the sidewalk thing, did we have any complaints in Grand Bend about the sidewalk? No?
Okay. All in favor of that? Carried. Thank you. Anything else? Mr. Underwood.
Yes, highlights from the Lake Huron Primary Water Supply System Joint Board of Management. There's a mouthful. I've got them down in different points, I'm just going to expand upon them. So the first point was capital budget for 2012 was approved. The results in an increase of 5%, which translates into approximately 1 cent per cubic meter of water purchased at the municipal point. And the budget is substantiation, I added that here, so it's all there, and summary on the last page. Bottom line is the water conservation has been so good that there's less water being bought. So 5% increase is going to result, because it keeps going, result in 3% increase from their point. However, if we didn't do the water conservation, it would have gone up even more, simply because our infrastructure is starting to fall apart. And a little later on, there's a thing there, I've got about 49 kilometers of pipeline, which was installed during the 1960s as an experience of taking failures. Remember that break last year? That break, they only had it, they got it under control within a couple of hours, but the farmer's entire stock of topsoil was gone. And they never found any evidence of it anywhere in the pipes. The only thing was the farmer across the road suddenly had a lot smoother field and he wouldn't get it back. They got 95 of those giant transport trucks, 95 to put into his field again. So it's a 1960s pipeline. It was rated for maximum pressure of 250 psi in 1950. They never ever thought it would get to that pressure because they were running at about 100 psi. Now we're running at 250 psi, and it's 50 years old, and we have no way of inspecting it. We're putting $1.5 million into inspecting it this year. It's basically a great big shuttle thing that goes in, and down it goes down the pipeline, so you know they're going to find something in it.
4-foot diameter pipe.
Yeah, it's just amazing the amount of water that goes through there every day. They're trying to do cost-saving strategies, and the example used is they're going to be purchasing electricity during night hours. It's a lot cheaper, and electricity counts 50% of the capital costs alone.
Capital cost, is that operating cost?
Operating costs, yeah, they call it capital costs. The capital, that's the way they wrote it down. Capital costs, operating costs.
I just seen the capital, I thought that.
Well, they buy the electricity by bulk, too.
Okay.
The other thing that came through was the Ministry of Environment will cease to pay for source protection costs at the end of 2012. Just in time for the new water source protection legislation coming into effect. Approximately $150,000 will have to be uploaded by municipalities involved for the budget of 2013. Downloads are expected to consist of assessment plans, risk management officials, resulting support staff. The comments from the ministry, they've been very holding their cards close to their chest on this. Comments from the ministry are, if the source is not contaminated to begin with, there won't be any problems. So they're going to be downloading stuff like that. I have no idea how that's going to be broken down for us within the municipalities to take over, but it's going to happen. And that's about it.
That's a good report, and thank you for doing that. Thank you, Ross. Thank you.
Councilor?
A couple of things. The first is the official plan. We had our committee meeting last Thursday afternoon. Good meeting, 4 hours, but we got through it. We put through the plan, and a lot of housekeeping alterations. So the planner is going to have to take that and make those housekeeping alterations, which is going to take her a little bit of time. So we're not getting it in October. We're hopeful. We said mid-November-ish, mid-ish November.
18th, I think.
Okay, we said the 18th, to try to get it, so that we can move it forward to council. We need one more meeting of the committee, and, just to look at a couple of other items, but, it's been a lot of time, and effort getting through all of that. But just a couple of issues. One is, when Patty does do the revision, there is the section on open spaces and parkland, and there's a whole bunch of recommendations in the Rec and Leisure Master Plan that we haven't approved yet. So there are some targets and things like this that really should be in the OP, because if, we need those references for moving forward with future new development. And then we have our beach study. And there is a section on the beach, there's a section on harbors and so on, policies dealing with this. So we haven't approved this either. So it would be helpful
We brought those back at the
if
next
we could bring these back, and then Patty will be able to take some of the guiding principles from here and fold those into the plan as well as from here as well. So that's the one issue. The other issue, again, we're getting to this whole thing of communications. This thing has to come back to council, and then we're going to review, and then there is a required public process. Public information centers, and then the public meeting, where we review the whole thing and the public gets to comment. And we know that there is stuff out there that isn't accurate, that isn't correct, and I have a copy of the Southcott Pines Association newsletter, and again, a couple of major inaccuracies here that we need to correct. And so what I'm going to suggest is that this will be one of the new business items when the committee does meet again, and then we can look at a response. I mean, Southcott Pines hasn't written a letter to us, so it isn't correspondence. But we need to be able to reply to the association and correct a couple of major things here in terms of misinformation. Because what's being said, of course, is that things like the OP is mandating certain restrictions because of the species at risk legislation.